Jade Cameron. I did my internship at Utah Valley Family Support and Treatment Center in Orem, Utah. I was there from April 2021 to July 2021 during the spring semester. How did you find your internship? I had moved to Orem in January, and every day on my way to work, I would drive past this family support and treatment center. As it came time to start looking for an internship, I began to think about possibly applying at this center. The way I found my internship was I just so happened to move right next to it and would drive past it every day. This is what the center looked like, and this is what I drove past every day. Steps of arranging my internship. When I decided I wanted to apply as an intern, I got the number of the center online, got in contact with Rochelle Hardman, who is in charge of hiring bachelor level interns. I had a phone conversation with Rochelle and gave her my information. Then I emailed her my resume. Once Rochelle had my resume and looked it over, the next step was to set up an interview. I came into the center and had my interview with Rochelle, where she asked me a few questions. A few days later, she emailed me and offered me the internship. So the way my internship process went was contacting the center, getting in contact with Rochelle Hardman, submitting my resume, having an interview, and getting the internship. What were your responsibilities in the internship? My internship allowed me to pick my own hours and where I wanted to spend my time. There were set departments my supervisor wanted me to observe and be a part of, but it was up to me to decide what I was going to do each day. I worked in the respite nursery. The respite nursery was a place where families could bring their children for a number of reasons for free childcare. Every family in the community is allotted at least 3 hours of free childcare each week, and this could be used for any number of reasons, such as needing a break, needing to go grocery shopping, needing to do a doctor's appointment. Any family in the community could use this. They could also drop off their kids if they are doing therapy at the center, or if they're taking parent education classes, or if there's a crisis emergency and the child needs to be dropped off and there's nowhere else for them to go. During the school year, I went to a different middle school and high school and observed the education specialist. This person did presentations to middle and high schoolers about dating violence, technology and adolescent's brain, stress and how to manage stress, and a huge range of topics, and it was really interesting to observe. I also co-taught a class called Yes Group, attended prevention meetings, went to community outreach events, and observed parent education classes. How did you benefit the site you served at? So house parents are the ones in charge of the nursery and watching over the children, making sure they were safe and happy and comfortable during their stay at the nursery. While serving my internship, a house parent had left, and I helped cover their shift while a new house parent was being hired. In the nursery, there needs to be a ratio of 1 adult to every 4 children. And because one house parent had left, there was down to 1 house parent, so 1 adult to 4 children. And that's just not enough. There needs to be more, so more children can come to the nursery. So I was able to come and take over some shifts, so there could be at least 8 children in the nursery at a time. And then if there was volunteers, there could be more children. And this just helped keep the nursery running and allowing as many families to use it as possible. Another way that I benefited the site that I worked at was I helped co-teach Yes Group. So Yes Group stands for Youth, Emotional, and Social Skills. We taught 2 classes a week. One group was 5 to 8, and the other group was 8 to 12. And these children were recommended either through their therapist or their parents, and we were helping them learn social skills. So the topics we taught on were friendship and trust, communication, problem solving and teamwork, body safety and assertiveness, service and empathy, self-esteem, internet safety, anger and stress management. and I would come up with some lessons. I did the problem solving and teamwork, and I did self-esteem, and I created the whole lesson plan and I taught it to the class, and I also helped the other teachers involved teach their lessons to the class. How did I benefit from my experience personally? I loved working in the respite nursery. I loved getting to be involved with the children. It was just a really great experience. I've been very unsure about what I wanted to do in the future with my degree. I knew I wanted to work with children and families. I was just not sure how I wanted to do that or what job opportunities there were out there. Through working at the center, I was able to learn a bunch of different job options that work with children and families and is not family therapy. I also got to work with children in the foster care system, and that was something I've always wanted to do. So in the respite nursery, there's a lot of foster care children or children that were adopted out of foster care, because there's a very select group of people that are allowed to babysit or watch those children. And so a lot of the times they come to respite nurseries. I also got to teach children social skills. I benefited personally from going to the school prevention presentations. I learned a lot of really great information about dating safety and just how to be safe online, in person, a lot about stranger danger, and stress management. I went to a trauma training class with our parent education specialist. I got to do community outreach activities, which is like going to a family fair, and we got to share information about the center to the community and get more parents involved in either therapy, parent education classes, or taking their kids to the respite nursery. I also got to sit in on prevention meetings, which was where a bunch of staffs in the prevention program got around, talked about issues either with the community or in the center that they need help with, and I got to be involved in that conversation. One connection I made with the BYU program and my internship that struck out to me was emotion coaching. While learning how to interact with the children in the nursery, a concept that kept getting brought up was emotion coaching. Giving labels to children's emotions was a big part of behavioral management. When a child is sad or angry or scared or even happy, we as adults should be validating those feelings. We should be letting them know that it is okay and they can express their emotions. One of my favorite concepts I was taught during school was emotion coaching. I love emotion coaching. I even taught it to parents in a family life education program I had to create for my practicum. It was really exciting to see the nursery use a lot of emotion coaching. They also used play therapy language, which was a new concept to me, but was very similar in the goals as emotion coaching. So play therapy language is telling kids people are not for hurting, toys are not for throwing, chairs are not for standing on, and this separates the child from the action. And I just thought this was great, and kind of like with emotion coaching where you're saying you seem really sad, you're just giving kids new labels, and with the play therapy language, you're letting the child know this action or behavior might not be okay and it's not acceptable, but you are still valid and you are still important and you're not bad, just that behavior is bad. Another part of that I loved was we would tell children, friends are not for hitting, people are not for hurting, you are not for hurting. And we always double down on making sure that they knew that other people were not for hurting, but they were also not for hurting. And it's because you're not for hurting, no one should be hurting you, you should also not be hurting other people. So lastly, would I recommend this site to other students? Yes, I would 100% recommend this site to other students. The staff who I worked with were amazing. I loved working with every single person. They were all so nice and so kind. There was a lot of different experiences you could have, and you could be doing something new every day. Depending on what time of year you're working there, they have different events or programs going on. It was a great way to learn about different ways you can work with families and children. Plus, it is a nonprofit organization, so by interning there, you're really helping them out. Like I said, I, through my internship, got to be a house parent for a bit, and they would have been really struggling without me being there and offering my services to them. So I'm really glad that I had that opportunity to be there and support them and just be another resource. I absolutely loved working in the center. I can't say enough good things about it. I had a wonderful experience. I loved working with the children. I loved working with my coworkers. There was another BYU Idaho intern working there at the same time I did, and neither of us knew each other prior to this. We found out later that we actually had a class together at one point, but we didn't know that. And it just was coincidental that they had two BYU Idaho interns working at the same time in Utah. And again, I just loved my internship so much. It was a really awesome experience. So this is the person you would want to get in contact with if you were planning on or wanting to intern at the Family Support and Treatment Center. So this is Rochelle Hardman. She is the prevention coordinator. She's also involved in hiring bachelor level interns. This is the number of the center. If you call them, they will get you connected to Rochelle, or you could email her. This is her email at the end, and she will get back to you. And they're always looking for interns and volunteers. And that is it. I absolutely love my internship, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you.